It's 5 o'clock, so I'll get started with the information items.
Besides all the politics. she's-
Call the meeting to order.
Yeah.
We do have a forum, so. Sorry? Oh, we have a forum.
I think Jim.
No, don't we have 1, 2,
There's 5.
5 of us?
We need
So
one.
that's a forum.
6. Need one more.
But we don't need
We don't need a
for the
forum.
report.
Oh, we don't
need
need
a
the
report.
information. Right. I'm still practicing. Okay. 1.1, President's Report.
Yes, first of all, as we have acknowledged previously, in other months, the month of May is Mental Health Month, as well as Asian American Pacific Islander Month. So we are doing lots of campaigning and promotion around those two events. This morning, I had the privilege of presenting with Michael Sullivan and Dr. Kelly, and Trustee Nietzsche was there as well. The proposed 2024-2025 budget to the county executive and the budget team. We requested a modest 2% increase in our funding from the county. The support would allow us to continue to maintain the high standards of excellence that we have here at SUNY Broome, and make up for some of our challenges that we've experienced post-COVID. The meeting I thought went very well. It was, I want to thank my colleagues for doing a great job presenting both the financial forecast as well as the improvements that we're making with admissions. And once again, I thought the meeting was well received by all present. Today was the second to the last faculty meeting of departments that I've made across campus. I have one more tomorrow. They generally have been well received. Just creating an opportunity for me to meet with individual faculty and staff departments, allowing them to share their challenges and their concerns with the president. And I appreciated the opportunity to meet with them as well, because it is the first step towards rebuilding trust and through listening and learning. On May the 7th, several of us, 12 of us to be exact, including our legal counsel representative from the county, Josh, participated in a tabletop exercise, focusing on ensuring a safe and inclusive campus environment for our students, faculty, and staff. The activity was designed for us to understand a little bit more about Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1965, the First Amendment, and best practices around emergency management and student safety. It was based on a scenario similar to the scenario that's going, or to the situation that's happening in the Middle East. It was reviewed by the chancellor as well as legal counsel from SUNY. And it was a presentation of fact patterns. And at the end of each fact pattern, we were asked questions. I want to preface, or not preface, but I'd like to state that the conditions and the situations that were described in the scenario are not here at SUNY Broome, but it did allow us an opportunity to practice in kind of getting a better understanding of what Title VI means, the First Amendment, as well as academic freedom in relation to time, manner, and place of demonstrations, and to be able to ask questions about commencement activities. The strategic plan continues to evolve. I want to acknowledge and thank Dr. Kim McLean, who is in the room, for her outstanding leadership of our strategic planning committee. We have reviewed the feedback that the college has given us on mission and values, and we've begun to develop strategic plan goals and strategies. We're making great progress. We hope to have this completed by the end of the semester. Sorry, have a draft of the ideas by the end of the semester and a complete draft by the end of the summer, so that we can present it to the board of trustees for approval and review and approval in the fall, after the summer. There we go. I also want to announce that in an attempt to improve and enhance our work experiences at the college and to help us further develop our strategic plan, we have begun the process of an employee engagement survey. That survey went out and went live last week, and will be completed through the May 31st deadline. So hopefully we'll have that information that we can use to make SUNY Broome a great place for employees to feel heard, a great place for them to work. I'm not certain if, Dave, you'll include an announcement about the junior hockey team. But just in my report, I include a little preview about the potential or the rental of our ice locker rooms and coaches' offices for a junior hockey team. I'll let Dave fill in the blanks during his report, but you should also note that it's in my written report as well. And this has just been a very busy period for all of us here at the college. I've listed several events and activities. Alumni reunion weekend was April the 26th and 27th. Thank you, Kathy Williams and the foundation for hosting a really wonderful opportunity for our alum to come back to campus. It happened also the same day as the open house. So the campus on Saturday the 27th was very, very busy. There was also an art gallery opening. The work of former faculty member Robert Keller is on display in the library. On the 28th, the day after that, was the American Heart Association's Heart Walk. Thank you, Dr. Ross Scott, for pulling together a team from SUNY Broome to participate in that event. We had a PTK induction ceremony, scholarship for ceremonies, the retirement and chancellor's award receptions, the EOP student recognition event. Thank you, Vanessa Rodriguez. The Frank G. Paul Medal of Excellence Award, and last night was the student engagement recognition event. So you can tell we were very, very busy in the last couple of weeks. And just wanted to remind everyone that the commencement, the SUNY Broome Community College commencement, is next Thursday on May the 23rd, the arena. And with that, concludes my report.
Any questions? Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, 1.2 student affairs, Dr. Ross.
So as we get ready to close out the year, this is one of my favorite times of the year, and there are students that you always get to see. Ergo Alejandro, but there are also other students that I want to share with you, and I've asked the teams to share a couple of students that we're never going to forget, or that have had a really big impact on their lives, because in the Division of Student Affairs, our goal is to make sure that we address those variables other than academics that impact the success of our students. And so their stories are our why. And so I just want to share some students that you're not going to see every day, like you see Alejandro, or you see Hiba, or you see some of the other student leaders, but these are the students who we really, really take care of. We take care of Alejandro and Hibas, but these are the students that are the reason why this college exists. And so our first student is Heath Swigger. Heath is a student who is one of Vanessa's students, an EOP student. He's also on the autism spectrum, but nothing is really a challenge for him because of the support that he has had from EOP. As you know here, Vanessa said he's never missed a day of class all year. And he gets that support and the love from EOP. He's just one of their 80 students that they have in the EOP program. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Jack Simmons is one of our student athletes. What is very cool about our student athletes, at our student recognition ceremony, Colleen highlights our student athletes who have had 3.5 GPAs or above. We had 25 of them recognized yesterday. Jack is one of our really good students as well. Alexandra Bouillon is one of our returning adult students. And you'll also see some of the things that these students have said. But one of the things that I appreciate that she said before her time at Broome, she was a dropout. And now she's an A student. That's one of the reasons why we are here. She's got a great story, and her favorite place is the math lab. You gotta love that. Adriana is from Norwich. She decided to come here because of our class sizes and our great professors. And she is one of the few students who said that the student village is very calm. But she is one of our more successful students as well, and she says that she's coming back. Shirley Mendez is a student that probably 8 years from now, you're going to be calling her Dr. Mendez. She is of Latinx descent. She is an EOP student. And if you look really closely, she is our first student who was accepted into the summer program experience at Downstate Medical, which is truly, truly an honor. So I hope that she comes back. She was here the other day to get recognized at EOP with her grandmom and her little brother. Nathalie Tessier is Haitian-born, multilingual. She's lived in Broome County for 2 years. She's in the health studies program. She's also working on a certificate in histology. She is also a future doctor. She also is a member of Phi Theta Kappa. One of the things that has been very important to me is that we increase the membership and the engagement of the students in Phi Theta Kappa, particularly the students of color. And Nephtali is one of them. And I'm hoping that we can get some of the students in Phi Theta Kappa more engaged in the student leadership opportunities within the campus. Rosemarie Erwicki is one of our health sciences majors as well, an RA. She plans to go to Delhi and pursue her nursing degree, ending up with the BSN, but she's one of our students that was recognized by Public Safety for the work that she does in the student village, particularly covering the desk. Tosha Williams is one of our graduating nursing students. And I don't know, can't remember if she was recognized yesterday or not, but what's so significant about her is if you look at the ages of those girls, she has been incredibly busy because if I remember correctly, she's also got a pretty strong GPA, but she's got, it looks like teenagers down to a little bitty baby. And she is also somebody that we support. She works pretty well with Lori, who works with our parenting students. Riley Tasmanovich, Tomasovich, yay, thank you, Evan, is one of our RAs who is going to go into healthcare management. And what's great about that is a lot of our students who serve as RAs do get picked up at senior institutions to serve as an RA. It's a great gig if you can get it, particularly because it helps with your cost of attendance, but it also shows their leadership skills. One of the things that Riley mentions is that when you live on campus, you get an opportunity to form all kinds of connections. And when students feel connected at school, they're more apt to do better and they're more apt to persist. Jordan Thomas, Jordan Thomas is one of those students who, over the years that I've known him, at least 2 years, has really come out of his shell. He's dealt with some tragedy in terms of having a brother who was recently killed. Took him down for a little bit, but Jordan has really come a long way. Member of the basketball team, as well as track and field. He works with public safety, and Jordan plans to transfer to Cortland to study sports management. But I think one of the great things about us, you know, what we do here at Broome is we engage students such that they see things in themselves, and we help them see things in themselves that they might not even recognize. And for me, Jordan is one of those. Great kid, great young man. Nessa Amara is one of our adult students who found support with ARO. And she is also somebody who never knew about PTK, and she's another one of our older students who's going to be involved in Phi Theta Kappa, which is great. She's going to go into human services, and she is also a cancer survivor. And just the support that she has gotten here has really pulled her through. And last but not least, I don't know how many people know, I call her twin, Jocelyn. Jocelyn is one of those students as well. Has come out of her shell a lot, and found her home playing sports, which is great. Is Jocelyn graduating this year? Jocelyn is graduating. Do we know where she's going?
She's going to be finding a job, hopefully in security.
Oh, okay, thank you. But she's another one that, you know, when you first meet her, it's like, oh Lord, let's bring her in and give her some hugs and give her that unconditional love. Because that's what she needed. She has a twin. Hopefully we can get Jazz to come back and finish school. But Jocelyn is another one. Great, nice young woman who found her space and found her place here. And this is just some of the students that we serve and we get the honor of working with every day. And I wanted to share them with you all so that you know and you can remember that what we do here in the community, whether our students are coming from PA or whether they're coming from the New York City or whether they're coming from just around the corner, we play a significant role in their lives, not only academically, but for their personal growth and development. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Definitely, Alejandro. And did I hear this is your last meeting?
Yes, this is my last meeting as a trustee. First, I just wanted to thank everyone for giving me such a great space to be a trustee and to learn from all of you, to make decisions with you, and just to grow as a person, as a student. It's been a great journey. I've had the chance to go to so many places, meet so many great people, so many other trustees. And just I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for you guys. So I just wanted to thank you first. And then I want to mention that the assembly has wrapped up our work for the semester. Our office is closed for the semester. Next semester beginning, we'll have some special elections to ensure that the assembly is full and that everyone has a place in the assembly. And then something that I wanted to also announce is that we have a trustee elect for next year, and that's Hiba Khan, and she is right there. Hiba is an amazing student that has done so many things that this campus is so grateful, so lucky to have her. And I know that she will do an amazing job as a trustee, and we're very lucky to have her here as a student, as an RA, assembly member, and then also a trustee. So I'm very excited for her, and she's gonna do great. That's my report.
We were glad to have you, You're a good trustee.
We developed a reputation around the state.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be graduating as well. I will see a graduation.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Thank you. 1.4 BCC Foundation, Kathy.
My report's in the packet and, a lot of the people stuff are financial situation. So looking pretty good for the foundation and, we are in the last 6 weeks or so of fundraising for our fiscal year. And on behalf of the foundation, I want to thank all the trustees who've made their annual gift and really appreciate that because we get asked by our funders if we have 100% participation from a governing body on campus. So we're always proud to be able to say yes. So thank you very much for that. And thank you to trustee Nichia for assisting us in wrapping up both boards fundraising activities. We have been really busy with our foundation awards and scholarship recognition event. It was huge inside the Ed Center, and that's a project that we don't carry out by ourselves. We have a lot of people who are in this room who help to volunteer in one way or another to pull that off, and that is an evening where we get to celebrate our students and award more than 350 merit scholarships. And it's also an opportunity for our donors to come and meet their students. And it's a great stewardship type of activity. Dr. Hawkins got to actually meet the parents of one of his former colleagues, and she happened to come along from the DC area to our event, and they got to meet their students that they supported financially. And it's just a really wonderful kind of celebratory time. It's kind of just adding on to what Dr. Ross was talking about earlier. So it's our favorite time of year. We're glad it's over, and we look forward to after next week taking a deep breath and being done with that. Just basic, we had our Frank Paul Medal Ceremony, which Dr. Hawkins spoke of. That is where we recognize 36 of the top math and science students from all of the schools in the Southern Tier region. And many of those students aren't coming here. They're the top students in their class, and they're graduating, going on to other colleges. But we, through the Frank and Lillian Paul Endowment, are able to provide them with a medal and a cash prize and recognize them. And we have, of those medal recipients, 6 of them coming here to SUNY Broome, and 4 who have gotten scholarships to support them their entire journey, incoming, continuing, and then for 2 years after when they transfer, if they maintain their STEM and engineering path. So that's kind of just a neat thing. Like I said, it's just been really a busy time, but we're happy and we're in a lot of gift discussions. It's 6 weeks of the fiscal year, so I'd be happy to answer any questions. And I did just want to thank Alejandro from our perspective as well, is that he has always been forefront and raising his hand to help out. And, we just wish you well. We're so proud of you, and you got to stay in touch with us because you're going to be joining the alumni family next week. And we're just so proud of you and appreciate everything that you've done for this campus and for us personally.
Thank you. Facilities, Dave?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to hand out updated reports. After 7 years of doing this, I finally figured that I should probably put it in a different format. So, It's in the format now that our capital project summary that is produced by our finance office distributes. And it'll be a lot easier for everyone to understand what's going on and what we're trying to do. So we've broken it down into the various categories for which different types of funding are available. And I've reported on most of these projects, but I'm gonna highlight a few things. So on the HVAC side, as I've discussed or reported on, we're trying to change our any of the water-cooled cooling towers that we have on campus to air-cooled cooling towers. We have the library and the business buildings that we just recently completed, and we have a couple more to go. We have Decker and we have Pitchner. But the interesting thing is, in my conversations with the town of Dickinson Water Department, we've already, or they have already noticed a substantial decrease in our water usage. So as we get the other two done, there should be an even more significant decrease in our water usage, which is a big plus. Safety security, as I reported on, a number of additional campus-wide security cameras have been installed, and we've put signing up now in the areas where there hadn't been cameras before to make people aware that they were under surveillance. We've also installed bulletproof glass in the finance office to add some additional protection to the ladies and gentlemen that work in there. We had a fire code violation during our last inspection. The double doors at the backside of the old science building at the loading dock were deficient, and our staff replaced both of those. And work is expected to begin on the fire panels campus-wide within the next few weeks. Under building renovations, I've reported on the photography lab. Most of the work is done. What we're waiting for now is delivery of an electrical panel and doors, but that project is still scheduled for completion in August, prior to the beginning of classes. Same with the nursing renovation project. We still expect to have the bid results for that project to the board at their August meeting. Couple of other minor things. Exterior doors will be installed at the BC Center once the semester ends. We've had some brickwork at Titchener, both at the main entrance and on the eastern end, that needed to be repaired, and that work is underway. We hope to, and we expect to, refinish the wood floors in the Baldwin Gym, the West Gym, and the dance studio this summer, in addition to repainting the floors in both the Baldwin Gym and the West Gym. The next category shows ongoing planning and or design projects that we have underway, and I've reported on many of these as well. And that gives you an update as to where they are. And as Dr. Hawkins noted, we have finalized a contract with a junior hockey team, the owner of which has two teams, one in Elmira and one here in Binghamton. He's going to call this team the Binghamton Buzz. They're going to use our SUNY Broome Ice Center as their practice facility and their home ice or home game facility. So we're really excited about that, because I think that will, not that the ice center is underutilized, because it's not by any means, but that's another tenant that we hope to be long-term or have long-term. And there may be the possibility of him adding a second team as well next year. So this area is has always been known for its good support of the hockey teams, whether it be downtown at the arena or elsewhere. So we expect that these games will be pretty well attended and give further exposure to the campus as a whole. So that's a really brief summary of my report, but I would be more than happy to answer any questions anyone might have.
Thank you.
I have a question. How much rent is this going to generate? Substantial amount or? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the duration, but it's 60,000, I believe, August through sometime in the spring, April.
Correct.
April, August through April, 60,000.
For the rental.
For the rental of the ice for practice, for home games, an office for coaches, and the locker rooms.
What age? Well, Anthony Jr. is 17 and above. I mean, these are kids looking, this is really good hockey. So these are kids looking to go either to the NHL ultimately or play Division I hockey. So they'll be playing teams from all over the Northeast and down south into Pennsylvania and other areas. But it's going to be really good hockey, and I think it's going to be, if it works out the way we hope, as I said, I think it'll be really good exposure for the schools. And we hope, and we've talked to the owner, he hopes that a number of the kids that are on the team will end up taking classes here too. So I'm not saying it's gonna be full-time, but he expects that a number of the kids will be taking classes here at SUNY as well.
I figured that was leading the buzz, so I figured they'd be going here as well.
Yeah.
Or some of
Yeah,
the,
yeah. They came up with a pretty cool logo and, yeah, it's gonna be good.
Thank you.
Not a question, a comment. I think it's terrific. It's fantastic. See the campus utilized and exposure, just good for our community in general. So I appreciate the work that was done to make it happen and do all the negotiations and all that. It's good for the college.
Thank you. I agree. Okay, 1.6, Michael, budget and finance update.
Thank you. So in your packet is the monthly forecast. Budget and finance still projecting a balanced budget through the end of the fiscal year, August 31. Since the last board meeting, the state budget was approved. And on the operating budget side, really no material change in the reimbursement methodology, which translates for us to get about approximately 100% of the ceiling, which in your budget forecast here, we have budgeted about 13 million for state aid, which is what we'd anticipate for next year's proposed budget. In addition to the operating budget, there were 3 major capital projects that the county had already recommended and approved during the late fall of 2023 that got approved with part of the state budget. That included phase 4 funding at 3.8 million for the Decker nursing expansion project. 50% of this is state aid and then 50% is local match. Approximately 900,000 for information technology infrastructure and peripheral equipment, and $500,000 for replacement renovation of the business building roof. As Dr. Hawkins mentioned, we did have a meeting with the county executive team this morning on the college's proposed budget for next year. I would just say that the process from here is county executive will make a recommendation to the county legislature in the next couple of weeks, and then the county legislature has economic development planning and education committee that will review it, and then it'll go to the county ledge finance committee. Both of those occur kind of in the early June time period, and then county ledge meets actually the same day that the board meets, June 20, to ratify the budget. Meanwhile, we'll have that information, present a final budget to the board in June, including the tuition and fee schedule. So I'm gonna really try to be at both places at the same time when we get the June budget all passed. So that's all the operating budget. The only other thing really I think important to the college is the college with the Housing Development Board staff and with the board. I think I've mentioned we've been in earnest for the last year working on a refinancing of the village. The original borrowing for that was about 20 million. After 10 years, they paid down about 25%, 20%. So it's at about 15 million. 10-year note with KeyBank, and we're both soliciting proposals from KeyBank, which would do it again, another 10-year deal, and or bond investors, which would be looking at a 30-year deal. So we have three pretty interested parties, and there's a lot of information that needs to be provided. We expect over the next probably 30 days that we'll get hopefully proposals from all 3 parties and do some comparisons and make a recommendation to the housing board, but certainly a major aspect of that is college support in a number of ways. So we hope to get that. We have to close at the latest by November 1st. That's when the 10-year note runs out with KeyBank, but we might be able to complete that a little bit sooner. So we'll keep you posted on that, but that's a major project that a number of individuals in the room are participating in. And that concludes my report. Willing to answer any questions anybody has.
Thank you. Okay, 1.7, faculty eligibility for initial 11 appointment.
It's in your agenda. I'm sorry, in your packet.
Says standard item.
You know, for those.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. All right. But 1.8, media report, Jess,
Standard report.
thank you. All right, approval of the minutes of, April 18th Board of Trustee meeting. Can I say a motion? Tony, Anthony, second, Margaret, favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Finance and Faculty Committee meeting recap. That was held this week. All items were passed successfully and, there were no outstanding issues. So could I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Margaret, Jim, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, preferred agenda action items. All the information is in your packet, and unless you want to draw one, we can vote. I'd like a motion to accept all 4.1 to 4.8. Margaret,
I'll second.
did you? I'm sorry,
Jim and Alejandro.
Jim and Anthony. Okay, all in favor? I'm sorry.
Alejandro's.
Oh.
Speak up. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Coach. Alejandro seconded. Okay. Any question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Third agenda is approved. Okay, action items.
You can do them as consent, as a collective.
The action
Individual.
items,
One at a time.
One at a time? Okay.
let's do them all together.
No, as one at a time.
One at a time, okay, that was, okay. All right, 5.1, recommend approval of dual or second degree policy.
I'll make a motion.
Jason? Anthony, second. Questions?
I have a question. Was there any minimum before this policy?
Yeah, it's very standard for most colleges. It's typically 15, yeah.
Are there any students that are graduating or that are planning to graduate with 2 degrees with?
Generally, we have a lot, yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is this year, to be honest with you, but we usually have quite a few that graduate with 2 degrees. Or they stay and complete the other one later.
I believe trustee Shibuya you have a week if you want to get.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 5.2, recommend approval, change of program policy.
So moved.
Is this in
I'm sorry, Jason, second,
I'll second.
Margaret, all in favor,
Page 66.
motion carried. 5.3, recommend approval of dropping a class policy, already dropping the class policy. Motion,
So moved.
Mark?
Second.
Okay. Jason, Anthony, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. 5.4. Recommend approval of drone policy. Motion,
Moved.
like, that motion?
Jim said,
Oh, Jim. Okay, second,
I said, that.
Margaret. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, we have, since I don't know, that topic, you know, there's no executive session. So having said that,
I make a motion to adjourn.
Margaret second,
yes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Or meeting adjourned.
Second.